Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Crafty Saturday. I'm Michelle with MakingMemoriesWithMichelle.com, and today I'm going to show you how I made a Hershey Kiss milk carton and a little box that holds Hershey miniature candy bars. These are just perfectly darling for all of those ghouls and goblins who are coming to your door, or if you are in a school or you have small kids, this is going to be great to share with them. It's also going to be good, just to hand out. Sometimes, I hand these little treats out, to the kid that bags my groceries or the lady at the bank. So all week long, good morning, Anne. Good to see you. I hope your cold is feeling better this week. All week long, I have been using the Toil Trouble Designer Series paper, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I've used the bats and the witches and the cats and the hats, and I made that Harry Potter type Quidditch broom card. It's just been a lot of fun, and I know our Halloween crafting time is kind of wrapping up because Halloween's in a few weeks, but these will be perfect, and they're cute and they're simple and they're pretty quick. So if you're ready, we'll get started. The first thing I want to make for you is the milk carton, and the reason is that's the one that if I forget how to make it, that'll be the one. So let's do that first. I have a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock that is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. I'm reading my notes here, so good morning, Robin. Good morning, Janice. Oh, it's so great to see everybody. It's like retreat all over again. So all of the measurements for this are already on my blog, but they'll be on my blog post again. So on the 4 3/8 side, which is in your landscape mode, and I'm using my Simply Score tool, we're going to score it at every inch. So at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to turn it, and on the portrait side, we're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 1/4, and 2 7/8. So now you have this really cool grid. Okay, so I started this way on landscape, I turned it to portrait, and now I want you to turn it back to the landscape or the long ways again, because on just 2 of these, okay, so you're going to come down at 1 1/2 and come down to that very first score line. And then you're going to come at 3 1/2 and come down to that next score line. Okay? So I don't know if you can see it, but I did this and this, just down to the next score line. I'm going to put my Simply Scored away and grab a piercing mat and a ruler. Now you're gonna laugh at my ruler because it's huge, right? It's way larger than I need, but I love this ruler because it's a magnet on the back, and so I throw it on my cart and I don't lose it. If you've crafted with me before, you know I lose things on a regular basis. Okay, so starting where we did that line right in the middle, this is the Take Your Pick tool. It's awesome. Did you know it comes with a stylus? So I can keep my stylus in my Simply Scored and not lose it. And then I can use this one. So here's that little halfway mark. You're going to take your ruler and line up from the middle down to the corner of this square. And I want you to score using your piercing mat and your ruler. And you're going to do it in the opposite direction here. And you're going to do that on both sides. So really we're making a little triangle. You know how a milk carton has that funny triangular inner fold? That's what this is going to do. Line it up the best you can and just mark down to those score lines. And that's all there is to it. Put my ruler away so I don't lose it. Now, this corner, this little piece down here, I want you to cut that off completely. We don't need that. Okay, there's a little rectangle. We just don't need it. Throw it aside. And then this little teeny tiny square, you can just cut a notch in it. Just eyeball it, okay? That's gonna help us close it when we're done. Okay. If you have a bone folder, grab it and burnish those edges, okay? That makes these folds nice and crisp and along all of your score lines. Move that out of the way. Let's see, did I get them all? No. Even that top one. Okay, so that should be all. We're going to cut up. So this is the top, and at the bottom on these squares, I want you to cut up and then cut just tiny little slivered notches in there. Again, by removing just those little pieces, when we fold it, it's going to make a world of difference. You won't have such overlap and your fold will lay flat. Did anybody else have trouble sleeping last night? I was awake at 3 in the morning. So I laid there and I played wordscapes for like an hour. And I tried to go back to sleep and I couldn't. And then a friend texted me. I just got up. I've been crafting this morning since about 4:30. So, I have these teeny tiny little rectangles, and they measure 1 1/8 by 7/8 inches, and that one looks a little big. So, with some adhesive, there it is. We're going to decorate the box before we glue it shut. It's just so much easier. Kind of this starry night thing going on here. I'm going to drive to Virginia tomorrow and go visit a friend of mine. And he has a son, oh goodness, Sam 11 or 12. And while I'm there, I'm going to take him all of those goodies that I've made this week because he and I have to share a bathroom when I go visit. Okay, so I used a little tear and tape there. And if you fold that over and take your tear and tape off, watch, it just folds right there. Okay? Now, that's going to be the back because that has your seam. Fold your sides in. A little fast fuse or tear and tape. Okay? Hold it down in the center. Now you know those triangles? I want you to push them in. Look at that. Okay? And, oh, I have to grab a clip. So I have a library clip here. And now you've got a little box. Okay? No box is complete without a little tag. So I have from the Cauldron stamp set. In crushed curry And then I'm going to stamp Trick or Treat right over the top of that. Ah, sorry about that. I have my 1 3/8 and my 1 1/8 scallop punch. I'm just going to give those a little punch. And oh, there it is. I was going to say I had some black cardstock out earlier. Okay, and I'm going to put that up a little higher because it does cover up a lot of my little box. And there we go. Trick or Treat. It's perfect, it's cute, and it really does hold a Hershey's Kiss. Okay? The next one we're going to do is a box that holds 3 Hershey's miniature candy bars. This is, I love these. Have you seen these? They're really cute. Normally I would wrap, you know, put a belly band around these, but these are pretty spooky and cute on their own, so I'm going to leave them. All right, get out your scoring tool again, please. And on this piece measures 5.5 by 5 1/4. So on the 5.5 side, okay, that's the landscape side, I would like you to take your scoring tool, and this is designer series paper, so please use the larger ball instead of the smaller ball. You don't want to tear through your paper. I want you to score it at 1.5, 2.5, and 3 and 5. Then please turn it to portrait mode and score it at 1.5, 1, 4 1/4, and 4 3/4. Sorry, I was pausing because I was reading my notes. Okay, so fold and burnish on all sides. Okay, now this is the same, your measurements. So, these two, we're going to cut the top. These two sides on the top are going to be cut away completely. Get rid of them. They're just going to be in the way. Okay, now come down. You've got your little fold here. Notch those in a little bit on both sides, right on the score lines, okay? I hear Charles. He must have to go outside. I'm trying not to hear him. He's scratching at the door and kind of whining. Hope he's not sick. Okay, before we do anything, I have my corner rounder punch, and I'm going to round the top of this corner. This is the top of the box. And I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape. I set it down. Right here on the edge. Oops, that's a little long. But if it's a little long, it's okay. Just take the edge off here and fold that back onto itself. It'll be fine. Now to make your box, you're going to fold these flaps in and stop that. This comes up and wraps around. Okay? Fold your sides in, bring your side up, not quite like that, Michelle. That's why you cut those notches, so those aren't in the way. Okay. And fold your side in. Now, you can put your candy bars in and give it, okay, it does. It holds those candy bars absolutely perfectly. Have you seen the glitter ribbon? It is awesome. If you're going to use glitter, it might as well be on ribbon. Okay, so let's do something a little fancy. Let's do this. Ah! Threw that right across my desk. Now, because it's designer series paper, if you're going to tie this, be really careful that you don't overdo it, because you'll just crush that paper. Okay? And you can trim the ends off. And now you have a sweet little box to match your milk carton. So those projects took us, about 15 minutes today. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, anytime you spend $25 with me this month in October, you have a free tutorial that uses the Toil Trouble and the Cauldron Bubble suite. You can find my website, my blog, over at www.makingmemorieswithmichelle.com. And I welcome you to share this video or leave me a comment or comment on the blog. All right? I hope you have a very crafty weekend, and I can't wait to see your crafty creations. Take care. Bye-bye.